Is it a good idea to purchase the ASUS TUF gaming version of the RTX 5060? Does it run cool and quiet or hot and loud? Let's find out. We're getting one HDMI connection and 3 DisplayPort connections. This is the latest DisplayPort 2.1b. Beautiful. Oh, take a look at that. Stainless steel. Shiny. This is a beautiful graphics card. Take a look at this. Oh yes. It feels nice. TUF gaming logo over here. It's quite thick. Almost 3 slots. This shroud is plastic, but these are metal. These screws over here. They look nice. Just bringing that industrial aesthetic to the card. But the backplate, this one's metal. Nice. Another TUF gaming logo over here, the GeForce RTX logo. And take a look at that. It's like a mirror effect on there. Oh, and the card comes with dual buttons: performance mode and quiet mode. It is set to the performance mode by default out of the box. The GPU is powered via the single 8-pin power connector, and ASUS recommends a 550 watt power supply for this graphics card. Let's measure it. 302 millimeters long, and let's measure the height. That's 134 millimeters. It's not the smallest graphics card, but it's not a huge one either. And judging by the looks of it, this one has a very nice heatsink. I spot 4 big heat pipes over there, piercing through the heatsink over here, as well as through this side over here as well. This is a nice heatsink. Oh, and let's not forget about the cutout over here that allows the air to pass through. That's always good for additional cooling capabilities. Always nice to see. What about the memory modules? Yes, they are indeed actively cooled by that aluminum heat plate over there, and the VRMs are also actively cooled right there. You can see it is connected to the heatsink over there, and there's more active VRM cooling on this side as well. Yeah, this is a high quality premium design. I like it.
Traditional GPU or PCIe power cables typically have a 6+2 pin configuration, making 8 pins total. There's also these newer 16-pin I find the easiest way to do that is to just pick up the GPU and line it up with the PCIe slot on the motherboard. When we do that, it's easy to see the back plate of the GPU is going to need access to these 2 expansion slots. On this case, the expansion slots are secured with screws, so I'll just take my screwdriver and unscrew those. And then I can slide the mesh covers out of those slots. Now if we take a look at the PCIe connector on our GPU, you can see it's got this little tab sticking out on one side. Now if we look at the slot on the motherboard, you can see there's a little locking clip on the end. We need to push that back so it's open and ready to accept the little tab on the connector of the GPU. I'm going to line up the connector on the GPU with the slot on the motherboard and line up the back panel with the open spaces on the back of the case at the same time. And with it all lined up, I'm going to press it into the slot by applying some pressure to the side of the GPU. If you did it right, you should see that locking clip close, and it should make a click sound as well. I ran into a bit of an issue here. The I/O plate on my GPU was hitting the mesh cover on the next expansion slot down from where I'm installing. It wasn't letting me get the GPU all the way against the back panel of the case, so I'm just removing the third cover plate here and that'll fix the problem. Depending on the GPU and case you have, you might run into little issues like this, but don't worry about it, it's really not a big deal. You can see how the GPU kind of wants to sag down under its own weight, so we're going to need to support it to be able to get the screw holes all lined up. That looks good right there, and I'm going to put both screws back in and make sure they're nice and tight. So with this one, we just line it up with the connector and push it all the way in as far as it'll go. And this GPU has a little red light there that goes off once the cable's properly seated. It's nice because it makes it really easy to tell when it's fully inserted. And if we look at the cable now, we can see we don't have a bend within the first 40 millimeters, so we're good.
It looks quite good in this PC, don't you think so? Check it out. Oh, now I can see that that logo over there, this one here, it has LEDs. So that's your RGB, and that's the only piece of RGB on this graphics card. Now let's check how the RTX 5060 TUF Gaming behaves in games under full loads. Currently it consumes close to 140 watts of power, and this is one of the worst case scenarios. In other games, using other settings, I've seen it use anywhere between 110 to 140 watts. So it is possible that you'll play your game and your power draw will be something like 110 or 120, but I think it's most helpful to check the worst case scenario. The room temperature is close to 22 degrees Celsius, that is 72 degrees Fahrenheit, and the temperature of the GPU is 56 degrees. I don't think that the hotspot temperature is reported correctly because it's pretty much the same as the GPU temperature, so I don't trust it. Regardless, 55 degrees is very low, so I wouldn't worry about it. This GPU is running very cool. In terms of the fan speed and noise, 47%, 1350 RPM, that's quite good. And that is in the performance mode. By the way, that is how this graphics card comes out of the box. So yeah, we'll take a look at the quiet mode next, but first, let's take a listen to the noise using this wireless microphone. This card is running very quiet even in the performance mode. I mean, there's little to no noise to report. It's basically just normal noise that's coming from all of the fans inside of this system. And this is a big quiet case with high quality, silent, big quiet fans. So that tells a lot, right? I can enjoy my games using speakers instead of headphones, no issues, because this thing is that quiet. Now let's switch the card to the quiet mode using this switch right here and see how it behaves then. Alright, the GPU has been running the game for about 20 minutes or so in the quiet mode, and I'm actually impressed. Check this out. Same kind of power draw, pretty much the same GPU core clock speed. The only difference is that the GPU temperature is slightly higher. It's at 62 degrees. That is nothing. That is cool. Okay? And the GPU fan is spinning at 33%, 800 plus RPM. Which means that this thing is whisper quiet. And we haven't lost any performance. We had the same kind of FPS when we were in the performance mode. It is within the margin of error, maybe 1 FPS lost. Not a huge deal. I would trade that 1 FPS for a quieter graphics card. Let's take a listen. Yeah, this PC cannot get any quieter than this. I say use the quiet mode instead of the performance mode. It is worth it. Unless you are in a hot climate and your temperature in the room is like 30 or even more degrees, maybe then the performance mode will work better. Otherwise, the quiet mode is the way to go. Now let's talk about the RTX 5060's gaming performance. This GPU can deliver smooth frame rates at native 1080p, and it performs well at 1440p and even 4K when using DLSS upscaling. However, the RTX 5060 only has 8GB of memory. Because of this limitation, even gaming at 1080p isn't as enjoyable as it should be. We have to lower texture quality to medium or even low settings in the latest games. Additionally, features like NVIDIA's frame generation and ray tracing are difficult to use as they require more video memory than the card provides. This is disappointing, because if the RTX 5060 had at least 12GB of memory, we could enjoy the latest features and use maximum quality textures. Unfortunately, NVIDIA chose to limit this graphics card's potential by equipping it with only 8GB of memory, which doesn't seem justified. I tested the RTX 5060 at various resolutions in separate videos. Check them out at the links in the description below to learn more about the experience you'll get if you decide to purchase the RTX 5060. In conclusion, the TUF Gaming is a good card. ASUS did a good job, it looks nice, runs cool, and it is quiet. If you found this video helpful, then don't forget to reward my work with a like, it helps out a lot, and subscribe for more if you haven't already. It was I, Vadim. Till next time.